Welcome back everybody, Bakuzilla here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Camp Adventure set. As always, we are going to be taking a look at the paint and articulation first. Now, with this set, the paint is actually really nice. Bumpy, for his small stature, does have some pretty decent paint job on him. He actually looks pretty good. And Baryonyx, this is like what, the 5th time they've repainted their Baryonyx mold. So yeah, but to be honest, this is probably one of my favorites. This one and the original shiny blue one are probably my favorites, and especially like out of the green ones, this one is definitely the better one. The Stegosaurus, I think this is the 3rd time it's been repainted, but this is my favorite. Like, by far, this is the best looking Stegosaurus they've made. It's just a really nice black and a nice pink underbelly, which this is the first time I've seen them paint a dinosaur's underbelly for the first time in a while, so that's really nice to see. And also just the spikes on the Stegosaurus's tail, just really good. Darius, the human character, he has pretty good paint. Human characters in the Jurassic World line, like, they don't really have fantastic paint, but this one, like, I don't know if I got lucky, but this one has pretty okay paint. There are some paint slops, like on his right arm. There is some paint slop on there, and on his eyebrow, there is like a little dot they missed on there. Other than that, for Darius at least, that's nothing. The other paint conditions that were not so good that I saw were on the Baryonyx. His teeth, actually, hold on. Let me grab him. On his teeth, there is a little bit of spillage on his snout, and one of his teeth does have some missing paint. And on his arm, there's also some paint they're not huge things. They're not huge. But, you know, there's just those tiny things that are there that can get annoying. But, yeah, also the sculpt, Bumpy, brand new sculpt, looks really good. Darius, also a new sculpt. I mean, he's just a kid. I don't know what to say. The jacket's really nice, and the jacket's actually pretty nice sculpt for the jacket they did. And the Stegosaurus and Baryonyx sculpts are just reused from, like, 2018. So, but they are good sculpts. They do look pretty nice. So now taking a look at the articulation, Bumpy here, the baby Ankylosaurus, actually has no articulation. He's just a brick of plastic. So, yeah. Darius, he is human, so he has all the basic Jurassic World human figure posability. He can turn his head 360. He can barely look up, barely look down. He can flap his arms. He has a bend at the elbow and a swivel at the elbow. Swivel at the waist. He can kick that far out, and he can't really go that far back. He does have a bend at the knee. Bend at the knee and swivel at the knee. So you can do that. That's it for him. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Baryonyx first. So, Baryonyx, you can stretch out his arms like that. I think it's a full 360. Nope. Or maybe? No. That far up. I guess that far back for his arms. The legs are a full 360, so you can do that. They also can slightly move in and out. There's nothing at the tail, and to move the mouth, there is a button, which this one doesn't make noise, which I'm happy, because I don't really like figures that make noise, and Jurassic World has a lot of them. And the Baryonyx was cool, but all of them made noise, and this one doesn't, so I'm happy, because it just opens and closes his mouth. I like that, but, you know, I get it. Some of them have to make noise, and that's fine. Anyway, Stegosaurus here. Also, basic, just remold, all the same articulation. You can move the head very slightly, but you can move it at the arms, or let's do this side. You move it that way. Can you move it in and out? No, you cannot move those ones in and out, but you can move the back ones in and out. So, I'm pretty sure these back ones, they would be able, but the mold is stopping it, so they can kick forward, kick back. And then to move the tail, there's a little button on one of his plates here. You press that down, and it swings the tail to one side. And then Stegosaurus, none of the other figures ever made noise, so yeah, this is just a normal Stegosaurus. And that is... Hold on. That is it for the articulation. Actually, before we move on, I was wrong about Bumpy. He does have articulation here at his little tail. He can swing it. Barely, but yep, there we go. Try not to break it. He can swing it. Pretty sure there's also a swivel here. Yep. Can swivel his tail. So he does have articulation, but it's only at his tail. For accessories, I don't know what you would count as an accessory in here. There are the two big main dinosaurs, but there's also Bumpy and Darius. I guess if you want, you can count those two as accessories. But other than that, there's just like there's not really anything. For the size comparisons, here we have the adventure set next to my previous review, Dragonoid Infinity, the Bandai Soft Vinyl Raijin, the NECA Atomic Blast Shin Godzilla, and finally the Jurassic World Primal Attack Massive Biter Sarcosuchus. So before we move on to the final segment of this review, I just want to give a quick shout out to my friend Imagine Studios. She does things like drawing tutorials and stop motion, and as a bonus, there is a turtle. There is a turtle. It is a good turtle. It is a good turtle. I have a good boy lizard, and that's why I sympathize with good turtle. Good turtle, good turtle. But anyway, if you are interested, go check her out in the description. And now back to the review. Now it is finally time for my final thoughts and ratings. Starting off with the paint, I will give the paint a 4 out of 5. Not perfect. If it was perfect, you know, it would get a 5, but it's not because it does have some paint slops here and there. But I really do like the paint. The Baryonyx, like I said, one of my favorites that they painted. The Stegosaurus, my favorite that they've done so far, and just, I feel like they just didn't get as lazy. I mean, probably because Netflix, like, hey, don't mess this up, so they probably put in a little more effort into these guys, but it really does show. The paint is pretty nice. The sculpt, I will give it a 5 out of 5. I literally have no complaints for the sculpt. The Stegosaurus, Baryonyx, Darius, Bumpy, they all look basically perfect. I don't, like, there's no complaints there. For the articulation, I will give a 4 out of 5. Baryonyx, amazing articulation. Stegosaurus, also pretty good. I wish the head could have, like, had a bit more room to, like, turn and stuff, because basically at this point he can just look up and down, and that's, you know. Bumpy moves his tail, and that's it. And Darius, while he has some amazing articulation, his legs do have some limited posability. There's like you can barely make him sit down. Yeah. For the accessories, I don't know if I should give this a rating or not, because if you've seen other videos, you'd know that I don't give a rating to things without accessories. But I don't know whether to count Bumpy and Darius as an accessory or just part of the set. So I'm just going to say it's part of the set, so I won't give it a rating. I'll just say no accessories, they're just part of the set. For the size, I will give it a 5 out of 5. It is your basic standard Jurassic World size. It will scale perfectly with everything Jurassic World that isn't Legacy Collection. Legacy Collection has its own scale for some reason. But normal Jurassic World stuff will scale perfectly fine. No need to worry there. And for my final rating on this set, let's see. I think I will give it a 4 out of 5. It is a pretty good set. I don't really care much for human characters, but if you do, Darius isn't too bad. Bumpy, this is probably the one time you can, like, get him in scale. They'll probably release more of him, but so far this is the only way to get Bumpy in scale with all the other characters. Also, like I said, again, the Baryonyx and Stegosaurus paint jobs, they're absolutely amazing. I'm going to say it again, they're some of my favorites. They're just really good. Really, really nice. They're basically the reason I bought this thing. Just for those two. I don't really much care for Darius and Bumpy, gonna be honest. But, yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.